Hello, everyone, and welcome back to Sea of Thieves. Whether you are new or returning pirate, I'm happy you are here. And today we are at Port Merrick, aka Golden Sands. Long live Golden Sands. And we are going to be talking about the food scale in Sea of Thieves. Did you know that when Sea of Thieves first launched in March of 2018, the only edible option was bananas? That's right, folks. All we got was bananas. Now, granted, at the time, they provided much more healing capabilities than they do today. Now they are the lowest of the fruit and typically not eaten or just ignored in the bottom barrel and not touched. But the second fruit is the coconut. The coconut is the second lowest tier fruit that you can eat in Sea of Thieves. Provides a generous amount of health. I would say maybe a quarter or so of regain, or maybe a little bit more than a quarter, because a banana does about maybe an eighth. So you're looking at a little bit more than the banana, but not a whole lot. The next fruit that is not here at Fort Merrick's merchant area is the pomegranate. The pomegranate is a lovely fruit. The third lowest, so third from the bottom in terms of health regeneration. It will give you just under half of health recovering and is all around not as forgotten as the banana and the coconut, and good to use when you're in a pinch. And then we have the mango. And the mango is top tier. It generates half of your health. So if you've taken half damage from a pistol shot, you will want to have a mango on hand, and it will regen your health to full if you are at half damage. So always collect mangoes. If you're in a barrel and your inventory is already full and you've got coconuts or bananas in your inventory, because you can only carry 5 at a time, switch to the mango. And the final fruit in the food category on this food scale is the pineapple. Pineapples are awesome. You must always find and keep pineapples, especially if you are going into a PvP situation. Pineapples have 2 bites out of them, so you can eat it twice. This is what happens if you eat it once, and then you get a whole other bite afterwards. Each time you eat a pineapple, it regens full health. Okay, full health, guys. Gotta have a pineapple. Pineapples are a must-have. Next up on the food scale are meats. So in Sea of Thieves, there are a few different types of meat that you can have. One is the chicken, which you can get by gently putting to rest chickens on islands or purchasing with captain's supplies from the shipwright. All food that is meat must be cooked on a frying pan, whether on the island or on your ship. The chicken will also give you a health regen. I'll cook this while we talk about the others. The other meat you can get on islands is the pork, which is obviously received once you gently put a pig to rest. And the third is snake. And these 3 all give about the same amount of health regen as each other. The 4th meat type is shark meat, which comes when you have a sea burial for a shark friend, and must also be cooked and generates relatively around the same amount for that. Now, there are additional types of food that we will talk about here in just a second once my chicken is done cooking. Alright, now that my chicken is done cooking, I will show you that you get 2 bites out of every type of meat, and as you can see in the bottom left corner, I get half additional health on that little food ring there. You look there in the bottom left, that little green circle will fill up around, and that is additional health. So a few seconds or so after you have taken damage, you will then regenerate health. I will come up here and just do a little jumperoonie off of the top of this bridge to take some fall damage and show you how that regenerates your health. So see, I took a tiny bit of damage there. And in a few seconds, after not taking damage, it will start to go up right there. See that? So now I am at full health, but my little ring in the bottom corner has less regen in it. So great thing to have. Always cook your meats, eat your meats, and then when you are done cooking your meats, you can sell them if you choose not to eat them. Now, all selling of meat is done with the Hunter's Call. So let me bring up them really quick, and we will talk about the Hunter's Call for just a few seconds because they are related to food. All right, so the Hunter's Call has a few different fish types. You've got Ruckers, Splash Tails, Plenty Fins, Ancient Scales, Wild Splashes, Devil Fishes, Isle Hoppers, Pondies, Battle Gills, and Stormfishes. They come in all different sizes, colors. Well, 2 different sizes, but all different colors. And they are all found in different areas of the seas. Now, we will do a different video on fishing. You can also collect leeches, which you can eat, and they do provide a little bit of nourishment, but I would not recommend eating them. But the seas are full of fishes that you can get for food purposes. Anytime you're sailing or on an island and have nothing better to do, you can bring out your fishing rod and just let her have it. And that's probably not close enough to the water to go in. But there are 2 more meat types in the seas that are kind of the pineapple of the meat category. And I will be putting them on screen because I do not have them on my person at the moment. The first comes from when you defeat a megalodon. The megalodon will spawn on you and while you're sailing around in between islands, as long as there's nothing else nearby. And if you successfully kill it, it will drop a few pieces of megalodon meat. The other thing that you can get from creatures on the seas is kraken meat. The kraken can spawn when there are no other world events, and will typically drop a piece of kraken meat per tentacle that you take down. You can also find all types of meat in shipwrecks, whether it's meg meat, kraken meat, fish, cooked meat. You can find it in shipwrecks. So that is the food scale of Sea of Thieves. I'll put up a little diagram here of kind of the best way you can see to know how much health each one gives. And that is all. If you have any questions, please let me know down below, and thank you for watching.